Chato was a Chiricahua Apache subchief who carried out several raids on settlers in Arizona in the 1870s. He was a protege of Cochise, and he surrendered with Cochise in 1872, going to live on the San Carlos Reservation in southern Arizona, where he became an Apache Scout. Following his service as a scout, he was taken prisoner after being coerced to travel to Washington, D.C.Chato was imprisoned in St. Augustine, Florida, along with almost 500 other Apache at Fort Marion. Army Scout. After the arrest of Noctel Clin and the rebellion of the Apache Scouts, Chato slipped away from the reservation with other Apache such as J.U.H., Nige, and Geronimo, who feared for their lives. Since 1876, the Chiricahua Apaches theoretically lived at the San Carlos Reservation in southeastern Arizona, where supplies were inadequate, diseases rife, and politics corrupt. Many escaped to the Sierra Madre Mountains of northern Mexico, where they supported themselves by raiding and plundering on both sides of the border. The Cochise Massacre was the name given to an incident which occurred in southwestern New Mexico Territory on the afternoon of March 28, 1883. Former Union soldier and a prior judge, Hamilton C. McComas, his wife Juanita and 6-year-old son Charlie were attacked by a Chiricahua war party led by Chato while on the road between Silver City and Lordsburg, New Mexico. McComas died of gunshot wounds and his wife was killed by a blow to the head. The fate of Charlie was never ascertained, as there were a variety of conflicting reports. The incident made national headlines at the time. General George Crook and 250 men attacked Chato's rancheria in June 1883. So Chato surrendered with Geronimo and others to General Crook. Chato then served under General Crook as a scout, including the subsequent expedition into the Sierra Madre after Geronimo in 1886. Upon his return to Arizona, Chato led a peace delegation to Washington, where he was presented with the Silver Medal by President Grover Cleveland. On his way back at Fort Leavenworth, he was arrested and deported to Fort Marion in Florida, then to Fort Pickens in Florida, then moved to Mount Vernon, Alabama. It is not too much to say that the surrender of Natchez, Geronimo and the bands could not have been effected except for the assistance of Chato and his Chiricahua Scouts. For their allegiance, they have been rewarded by captivity in a strange land. In 1894, Chato and his family were allowed to move to Fort Sill in Oklahoma, and in 1913 Chato and his family opted to go out to the Mescalero Reservation in New Mexico. In 1934, Chato's Model T went off the road outside of Whitetail, New Mexico, on the Mescalero Apache Reservation. He died at the scene. Popular culture. In 1970, Ricardo Montalban guest starred as a fictional Chato on the American television program Gunsmoke.